Have you ever met someone just for a moment, but they left a mark that lasted a lifetime? This is the story of the stranger who changed everything. The old grandfather clock chimed, marking the passing of yet another hour, the ticking echoing through the empty bus station like the relentless beating of a lonely heart. Outside, the rain poured, mirroring the tears that threatened to spill from my own eyes. It was late evening. The crowds moved fast, everyone rushing, everyone tired, but there he was, an old man sitting alone on the bench. His clothes were worn, his face tired, but his eyes carried stories. Stories of laughter and love, of loss and longing, of dreams once held and hopes that flickered even in the darkest of nights. I almost walked past him, but something, perhaps the tremor in his hands or the melancholic tune in his eyes, made me stop. In that instant, an inexplicable connection sparked between us, a silent recognition of kindred spirits. I sat down beside him, and in a soft voice I asked, "Rough day?" He looked at me, a gentle smile gracing his lips. "You could say that or rough life." And with that, he began to speak, his words tumbling out like a torrent unleashed. We talked about nothing, about everything, about jobs we hated, dreams we gave up, about how sometimes the weight of the world felt too heavy to bear. As the minutes ticked by, my heart ached in unison with the old clock above us. Then he turned to me, his gaze intense. You ever wonder if anyone would notice if you disappeared? The question hung between us, heavy with unspoken truths. I nodded, my throat constricting, because in that moment, I realized I had asked myself the same question countless times. His eyes, pools of wisdom and sorrow, told me he understood. And in his silence, I found the courage to pour out my own story. Then he did something that took my breath away. He pulled something from his pocket, a small folded paper. "I wrote this yesterday," he said, his voice hoarse. "It's my goodbye note, but I didn't use it, because for some reason I felt like today wasn't the end." My heart skipped a beat. Was he planning to end it all? The thought sent a chill down my spine. With trembling hands, he unfolded the paper, revealing a message scrawled in neat handwriting. The words swam before my eyes, each stroke a testament to a life well lived, a life full of love and loss, of joy and pain. It was a masterpiece of a life in miniature, a swan song of sorts. For a moment, the only sound was the rhythmic drumming of the rain. Finally, I found my voice. "May I?" He nodded, his eyes glistening with unshed tears. I reached out, my fingers brushing against the paper, as I read the words that echoed the sentiments of 1,000 unspoken goodbyes. When I finished reading, the old man smiled, a smile that spoke of lifetimes of sorrows and a quiet dignity in the face of life's adversities. He tore the paper slowly, letting the wind take them away. It was then that I realized he hadn't just written a goodbye note, he had written a life. The bus rumbled to a halt outside the station, its arrival announced by a screech of brakes and a cloud of exhaust. People began to stir, shuffling towards the doors with their heads bent against the biting wind. The old man remained seated, his gaze fixed on the rain-strewn pavement. For a moment, I feared he wouldn't move, that he would stay there forever, lost in the labyrinth of his memories. But then he rose, his movement stiff but resolute. With a final glance at the departing bus, he turned and walked away, disappearing into the maze of the city. That night, as I lay in bed, the events of the evening replayed in my mind. I thought of the old man and his quiet dignity, of the strength he had found in his solitude. And I realized that sometimes it doesn't take a hero to save a life. It takes a stranger, a chance encounter, a conversation, a moment of shared humanity. Perhaps that is the thread of fate that binds us all, ordinary people saving each other in the most extraordinary of ways. This was one thread of fate. Tomorrow, another will be woven. Like and subscribe so you don't miss the next story.